Hey guys, welcome to the third day of our MERN Bootcamp. As you know, yesterday we started off with creating user authentication APIs. We also discussed about why we should be using routers. Today we'll deep dive into creating more APIs and then we'll change the structure of our routers a little bit so that we can incorporate each and every file that we have over here. Okay, so on that note, let's get started. We'll create another one since our login is complete. So next up in the screen, whatever you see is basically products, right? So we are gonna start off with our products API today. So we'll just write products.js. Now over here, we all know first two things that we have to do is const app express is equal to require express, and then second thing const router is equal to express dot router. One thing we have to keep in mind that whatever we are gonna do here, inserting products will not be in our front end. So most of the products that we'll be inserting will be going via backend itself. So this third thing, we need to get our model, which model we want to insert data into. So let's just get started with require model slash products, and our product model itself is not there. So first of all, let's go ahead and create that products.js. So over here we know to create any kind of schema, we start off with const mongoose equal to require mongoose, and then next up const schema is equal to mongoose dot schema, and we'll also take one type of we'll import one kind of package over here which is mongoose double, so that we can pass on our data in double format mongoose. So and we are going to incorporate that into mongoose. So we'll just write npm install mongoose double. We can do this, or for now just let's just remove this. If you want to use double, you can use it like that. So we'll start off with basic simple schema that we have is equal to new schema, and then over here we'll start off by writing first field that we'll have is category name, which is basically will be a type of string. Product will belongs to which category, so we'll write it off like that. Now the second thing is product name. Again, the type of this is string, and image URL, again type string. We'll have description of the product, so let's just write description, type as string, then product price, let's just give it a type as number. And similarly, we'll have one more field called as quantity. So quantity will be of type number, and timestamp will be there, and it will be of type number again, as we store it in milliseconds. We talked about this, right? That we store these our timestamp in milliseconds, so it is a number. So mongoose dot model, then we'll have products, product schema, then products, And last thing we need to do is module dot exports equal to products. Yeah. So once we have our model ready, let's just save this and let's get started by importing this over here. So now we'll get started with our importing our products model over here. So we'll have products, then and now next up we'll import response, which is our response file we import everywhere. Require second library slash response.json. We'll keep these and we'll move forward. First, our router will be just products. So slash products, comma, request, response, next. Now, we all know we take one variable let data equal to request dot body, and then we'll just start off by creating products, all the checklist and everything. We have discussed in the previous video how you can check whether you are getting the body from Postman and everything. So you can do that basic check referring to the previous video. We'll just put all our data that we need. So I have it prepared. So I'll just put in like this. We'll just align these first. That's all good. So yeah. Uh, uh, this data you all see everything is from the data and then there is a timestamp. Now we'll write dot then products, which is again our promise that we are getting, and then we'll write return rest dot status 201, which is the status for getting created, and in response we'll write response 201, and then we'll do a catch error, and then over here we'll write return rest dot status 500 dot json, and message over here will be response 500. Correct? So I think there is no checklist as such we need to put here. So we'll just go ahead and see whether this will work or not. So what do you guys think? This will work or not? Let's first do nodemon index.js, and it is listening to our port. So now let's just go ahead and open our Postman and let's check. Let me change the workspace to MERN Bootcamp, and over here we had two requests. This one was sign up and the other one was login. So we'll just go ahead and create another one for this adding products double slash local host colon 4000 colon products. This is a post request. Then there is a raw data in JSON format. You can provide any data. I have some data with me, so I'll just use those data to insert data over here. Okay, so I have this image URL which I got from a free website, and let's just check if this is working or not. So it said error not found. Why did it say not found error? So let's just debug that first. So what we did was, okay, so over here we are missing module dot exports equal to router. But still guys, still it won't work. Any guesses why? Because see over here in index.js we are using just users authentication over here. Okay. So now for that to uh, be able to use all our files, what we create do is rather than providing all these app.use over there in our index.js and making the code look bulky, we write a routes.js file, and over here we do the same. First two line remains the same over here as well. Require express and const router is equal to express dot router, and then over here write router dot use slash require. What is the file name? One is products, the other one is router dot use. So we are binding all the routers with a slash and then taking all our uh, not products exactly, we have already imported products. So let's just go ahead and do dot slash user authentication, correct? So we are binding all our routers into one, and then we'll write module dot exports is equal to router. So now this is the router which will be the main function, guys. Okay. So now let's just go ahead in index.js, and instead of this, let's just write routers and routes slash we have another file called as routes, and then over here just write routers. Okay, so I think by doing this, okay, so it started running, that means there is no problem. But let's see if this works now. Created, correct? And let's go ahead in our MongoDB compass and see whether it was created or not. So we'll see that this particular instance that we created. So which one was that? MERN Bootcamp, yeah, this one, right? So over here in our e-cart, let's see whether that collection was created. Correct, it got created. And we got the URL, we got everything that we need, right? So yeah, this particular thing is created. Now, we all know that there can be a case where we need to update our product details, right? So for that, we'll have a method called as router dot put, and then inside that we'll have the same slash products. So this is a put method of products, request response next. So just to remove the confusion, we can provide product update, because we'll be updating one product whose ID and everything we'll be getting. Okay, so we'll write products dot update one, and over here we'll just write let data is equal to request dot body, and update one command, if you go and search how mongoose does it, let's just do ID, sorry, mongoose dot types. So we'll have a small mongoose. Seriously, mongoose. So there is no mongoose which, oh, nice. So because of that only this was happening. So let's just write mongoose equal to require mongoose, and over here let's just go ahead and write mongoose dot types dot object ID, and over here let's just write data dot product ID. Okay, and then we'll have another statement where we'll be setting off these parameters. So we'll write dollar $set, and we'll send whatever needs to be set here, right? So for that, what we need to do is, so we have this. Okay, so this curly is not required actually. We have two conditions. This is a where condition that we write first, and then we write our next condition. So similar thing, guys. You have to provide timestamp here as well, because then you'll be able to see, okay, fine, my product was updated at this time, or you can add another field called as updated timestamp. Okay, so both ways it will work. You don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, dot, then we'll have products, and then we'll just return status. If everything works fine, then we'll just return the status as 200, and if it is not fine, that there was some server error that happened at the this thing was not working. So let's just write console.log error to log any kind of error that we have, and then return rest.status to 500 dot json response, sorry, message response 500. Correct. So this way we were able to create a put statement, a put function which will allow us to update our product data. Okay. So now let's just go ahead and test that. First of all, let's save this. We'll write products or with post, and we'll save it in MERN Bootcamp and save. So now our products post is there. Now let's just remove this. Over here, select method put. You just have to be careful what method you are selecting from the left drop down. Localhost slash colon 4000 slash product update, and we need to get the body, right? Again, the complete body should be there. So let's just copy this, as we need all the body data, and over here in JSON, let's just Control Z, paste this, and over here let's just change it to household 2, and let's check it if this is gonna change our category name or not. See, it gave message success. If we refresh this, okay. Oh, we didn't provide the ID actually. We have to provide the object ID as well, right? So over here, let's go here and let's just copy this value. Okay, and just to cancel. and we need to provide the product ID, otherwise it will update what. Okay, so we'll just write product ID. You can add a statement over there if seriously it didn't get copy. Control Z. Yeah, now it's copied. So yeah, now let's go ahead and check this whether it is updating or not. So let's update, and we can see here the timestamp changed, the category name also changed. Other than that, everything else was same, so it kept it as same. So we'll just write products update, then in MERN Bootcamp, save. So we have products update, we have product insert. We need one more thing, right? That one more thing is nothing but get. So get method is always easy. You want to get all the products which are there, right? So let's just write that, and next. Okay, products dot find. Let's just write nothing, no condition required. I need all the products, and over here let's just write this, and we'll write return rest dot status 200 dot json data products, and message as response 200. Correct? So now we have these, and now from this we'll write return rest dot status. We'll have 500, then also JSON message response 500. Correct? So this way we are able to get all the data that we need. If we are able to find the data, cool. There is no authentication here for now. We'll we'll add that in places where we actually need it, because you know, right, that everyone should see all your products, right? Whatever you are selling. So based on that, we wrote here. So slash products. I hope it's products. Why I wrote version 1 here. Just keep it like that, and let's see what we get. Are we getting the data? Yes, we got all the data that we need. So we'll write products. Now, there is something called as API versioning, guys. So let's say all these APIs that we have is of version 1. So what we'll do is we'll just write slash v1 here, and we'll change our URLs over here. This will become slash v1, and let's save this. This will become slash v1, and like this. So if we'll now load it, it will load, right? So this versioning helps us in understanding that, yeah, maybe sometimes there are cases where there is an actual version of your uh, app or website that is using the previous version of your API. So because of that, we do some kind of versionings. So it's required that you do it in practice, that mostly or your first created API should be version 1. And later on, if you want to change it to version 2, version 3, version 4, you can do that. Now, there is one more thing, guys. Right now, we are only able to post a product one by one. But if you see some person came to you and he said, "Oh, wait, I have a JSON data, okay, which I have extracted from somewhere, and it is something like this. Can you please upload all this data directly to my backend. So this is a task for you guys that you guys will create a sample JSON data and you will try to insert. How will you insert like this? Okay, and you guys can try this out and let me know. We have a Discord group. The link will be in the description. If you're not able to do it, let us know. Okay, and we'll be able to help you out there, right? So yeah. So moving on, let's just add one more product. I want two products at least. Same thing I chose or what? Did I chose plants for office table? Nice, I chose the same thing. Okay, so let me select anything else. Okay, so let's go ahead, post this, save this. Let's just do a get. Now we got two data, right? And it's pretty nice. So yeah, uh, basically, so from this we were able to create our get, put, and post for products, guys. And next up, if you are gonna see, so we have only one thing left, which is orders. So we'll see how we'll be uh, doing order. So things remains the same. We'll start off with orders.js and over here I'll just paste the schema, guys. Pause the screen for a while and you guys can go ahead and copy this. You pause it here, see what all things are here, and then I'll just go down over here and you guys can see what all fields are over here. Okay, so I'm not gonna explain this. So it's basically this is a list of objects. This product list will take a list of objects, and inside that list of objects, these are the fields that we'll be taking. Basically, everything that product has, so that we can basically run our what a kind of data that we have. And over here, I'm using double. So if you want to use double, please use double, or you can directly use number. Okay. So yeah, I'll I'll just pause it for a while. You guys go ahead, pause your video, copy it, and then we'll get started. So I hope you guys are done with this. So we'll go ahead and create our route for this, which will be orders.js. Okay, so same thing here. Require express, then sorry, const router equal to require express dot router. So over here, but guys, we need to also import our user because we want to check if the user that is placing an order is authenticated or not, so that we can keep his informations like user ID in our d- orders page. So for that, let's just write not express actually require models slash users. And also we have to import our users orders model equal to require model slash orders, right? So with that, and we have our response also. So let's go ahead and import that response, not response, library slash response.json. Okay, so now we'll start off with adding a post, and over here we'll provide slash orders, and then we'll do request response next, We are not using next for now. We'll implement that, but without using next also you can go ahead and do this. But for now, let's just keep it like this. Now let's go ahead and do our basic request dot headers. So there is one thing called as headers, guys. We'll discuss what we are writing right now regarding the token that we are writing. Okay, and let's just do let data equal to request dot body. Okay, so let's see what is a token. So over here, let's go ahead and create another API. So if you do a post API, over here you can see authorization. Over here we can write API key. This is a predefined key value that it is taking. We don't have to use that. So for now, let's just leave it blank so that we can authorize that person that yeah, this particular person is authorized or not. Now we'll start off with our, we have to calculate something here, guys, because we'll be getting a total, we'll not be getting a total cost from front end. We'll just be getting this JSON that we have, data dot product list. Okay, so now over here we can write data dot product list dot map, and then let's just give it a value of p, and let's just write total cost is equal to, is plus equal to, which is basically adding to the existing thing. We know about these operators, right? P dot product price and multiplied it to P dot quantity, which is basically for each product what is the quantity and what is its price. We'll add that and we'll just return whatever is the return P. Okay, so that our product is returned to this particular thing. So yeah, we are doing it like that. So now, first of all, over here, what we did here was we calculated the cost, total cost. Okay. Now over here, let's go ahead and see. So we'll have what needs to be done first. Check if user is authenticated. Then if user is not authenticated, we don't want to waste our time in inserting any kind of data. So just write user dot find one, and we know token needs to be there for that person to be authenticated, right? Now let's just write dot then user, if user, if we don't find any user, that means that particular person is not authenticated. So return rest dot status. Now we'll see in response.json what is the token is invalid or has expired is 401. So we'll just write 401 dot JSON message response 401, and that will be it. Let's just go ahead and create the next one. If the user is authenticated, and we always say that when you are writing a dot, then never forget to write a catch statement so that we don't forget later on that we didn't write a catch statement. Okay, and then over here, let's just write message response 500, and in else condition we just have to go ahead and create what is the order, create the model of the order. Okay, so over here we'll have different fields like user ID that we are gonna provide. As you can see, what all fields are there. We have user ID, total amount, discount, final amount. So all these things are there, right? So we'll just start off with user ID as user dot underscore ID. total amount is nothing but your total cost, then discount is discount, whatever discount you are providing. We'll see about all these things, guys. Okay. Now, final amount, total cost minus discount, correct? But we cannot have it like this. We need to write. But actually, we can have it like this, and this will be data dot discount because there is no discount variable that we defined, right? So data dot discount, and then product list directly push whatever product list we are getting. Data dot product list description, directly put it as data dot description. Status code, we have something called a status code, right? So we'll just write status code this, then we'll provide status as new. Okay. And now last thing is our timestamp. So let's just go ahead and provide that with new date dot get time. So yeah, dot then we'll have orders, and then return this dot status 200 dot JSON. Basically our created status is 201, so let's just not break that. Message is response 201, and then similarly over here we don't have to write, but since we have a habit of writing, let's just write another catch statement, console.log error, return res.status 500.json, message response 500. Okay, so yeah, with that I think we'll be able to create the API that we need. So will this work, guys? For now, we didn't do module.export. So first of all, let's just do that equal to router, and then over here in routes, we have to import it, right? So let's just write router.use slash v1. These are all version 1 APIs. Generally, your authentication API won't change that much. So for that, we are not writing any kind of versioning in that, but you can always implement versioning in that as well. Okay. See if there is some module which is not there, which is mongoose double that we used over here in orders, right? So let's go ahead and import it. npm I mongoose double, and this will import spelling mistake. Sorry. So we got that package, right? So now let's just go ahead and do again nodemon index.js, and this is working. So now for orders, guys, there is this trick that the data and everything what we need to provide should be uh, there in our products table, right? So we'll mock some of these data. Let's just do orders, and in authorization, if you want to see how you'll authorize with any user, so let's go ahead and take one of these token and come back, provide this value here, then in our body, again select raw JSON. We have to provide a very long JSON. I have it created. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy that. We just have discount, description, product list, and rest all the things are basically what we need to have. So let's see if this will work. This won't work, right? The ID over here, the ID over there are different. So what we'll do is we'll go here, products, we'll copy this document and we'll paste it here. Control Z. There'll be some error like this ID is OID something. So let's remove that because we know that object comes in place there. And I think that will work. We don't need to have timestamp. Okay. So quantity should be there and let's click on beautify and see. Yeah. So this is one of the products that we added. You can add it multiple time, but we don't want quantity to be 50, right? We are ordering something. So let's just give it a quantity of 2. Okay, and in description I wrote my first order, I wrote discount, and this product list is really, really important. Rest of the data, if you see rest of the data that we have here, uh, is actually we are retrieving it from somewhere. Like total cost we are retrieving from product list itself. Discount is something that we need. Product list we are getting, description we are getting, user ID we are getting from the token that we provided. Status code is something that we are hard coding for any new order that is coming in. So yeah, basically this should work. So let's go ahead and post this and it says it get got created, right? So let's click on this and over here if you see user ID came in, product list came in as an array and there is an object inside it. So yeah, status code also came in. So yeah, so this is basically orders create. So there is one more assignment for you guys, right? That we'll try to do the get API of this, and next will be we want to change the status of the orders. Then what method we should use? So that is an assignment for you guys. Tomorrow I'll just show how I did it. So for today, you guys can go ahead and practice that how we can create an API where we can change the status of our orders. Just the status, nothing else. So you'll have, don't forget to add authorization token, guys, because if you are not adding authorization tokens, then your whatever you are sending won't make will give you an error. So always remember that. So over here also, let's just go ahead and start doing let token is equal to request dot headers dot authorization, let data. And do we need anything else in our get apart from the token? I don't think so, right? For a particular user, we want to fetch all the orders that he did. So token will help us in doing that, correct? So now we'll also come and look into a concept of enum, guys. So enum is nothing but basically uh, over here we have statuses, right? So for the front end to understand what all statuses that we actually created, right? So what we do is we provide them with a JSON kind of data, which is basically enum data that that particular person can store in his front end, and then from there onwards he can, from the status code, he can find out which type of order was that. Okay, so we'll also provide that info. So for now, let's just go ahead and do user dot find one, and we'll go ahead and just provide token over here, and Let's just check this. And also guys, in enum you can do this. We'll just write object dot freeze so that it won't change anywhere where we want to change it. So this is the concept of enum that we are gonna implement in our JavaScript, in our Node.js. So this is basically how we implement enum in JavaScript. Enum means enumerations. This is a type where you actually define what kind of data that you were actually expecting. So like that we did over here. And let's go ahead and do our authorization first, and then we'll just write catch error, and we'll just do console.log what was the error, and return res.status 500.json and message as response 500. Okay, so now if this is the case, so what we need to do first is if we need to find out whether we have user or not. So if there is no user, that means the person is not authorized. Just send him this .json. We'll talk about why this is required, why we are sending a different response for token has expired, so that in our front end we can trigger something called as we can ask that person to log in again. Okay, and all those things will happen. Now orders dot will just do find, and we know we are saving our user ID, so let's just go ahead and add user ID, user dot ID, and then over here dot then orders, and you can always return rest dot status 200 dot json, and inside your json data over here, let's just write orders comma enum as object enum. Okay, so this is how you'll be able to send that particular data, and then we'll just write message as response 200. Correct? So I think for just for our habit, let's just write another catch statement, and this is a comma now. So return rest dot status 500 dot json message, seriously, message response 500. Okay, so yeah, this should work. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's go ahead and do a get API http colon double slash localhost 4000 slash v1 slash orders, and over here if you directly select author API key, it will automatically fetch that authorization token that you added just now. Just write orders get sorry, and we'll just do see, we placed one order just now, and we also got the enum back, and we got the orders, right? So if you do data dot orders, you'll get this. You do data dot enum, you'll get all these values that you need. Okay, so yeah, basically this is pretty much it guys for today, and there are two things that I asked you guys to do today. One was to create a put API with authorization to change the status of your order. Also, let's just say someone accepted your order or cancelled your order or delivered your order. So these are the values that are applicable. So yeah, you can always, you have to do this. Keep it simple so that only a put method and an update one will help you in this. And next up is products, where we are trying to post just one product, one by one product. But if some customer asks you to create, like I am giving you a array of objects and I want to insert all of them, so how do we do that? So you guys have to do these two things. And tomorrow we'll be back and we'll just deploy this on Heroku and get started with our React project. Okay, so on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry.